morning, everybody. Oh, I forgot to shave my. I still have the. It's pretty funny. I still look like a Civil War general. Got busy yesterday and got tired and fell asleep and didn't even bother to shave off the rest of my whiskers. Well, we're going to work on a night while the steel's heating up. I got boot jacks to do. Only about 70 more of the horsehead horseshoes to do. It's going to get real interesting around here today. But I really want to finish this knife up already. Got it back from Joel the other day with the sheath. I like to send the sheaths off to the leather guy before I finish them. And then that way, if the blades get stained or anything happens, then I can finish them after they come back. And then he doesn't feel bad about messing up the blades. That's about as good as it's going to get. Got it all polished up. I'm going to mask this off. Like so. Let's get a clean rag. All the fingerprints off. We're on there. Just going to do a little touch up with some very, very fine sandpaper. Punch a hole in myself, so I'm going to tape up the rest of this blade because it's sharp. I mean, it's not real sharp yet, but sharp enough that if you screwed up, you perforate yourself. Safety third around here. Thanks for the like. I appreciate it. I would love to say that I'm going to have these knives for sale on the Etsy store, but I'm afraid that they are already spoken. I'm afraid they're already spoken for. So I'm going to give this just a little more of a polish here. Make sure I got all the dye marks off or anything. That looks like that's what that was. It's maybe a little from the dye from the leather stain, maybe. Polish up the rivets. It's hard to tell what's natural and what isn't on this horn because some of it gets pretty stained up. Too bad. looks like a custom-made knife that came out of a blacksmith shop, and that's what I sell. I sell knives that look like they come out of blacksmith shop, because they do. So because of that natural horn, it swells. It shrinks, and some guys will take that elk horn and they will stabilize it with I guess it's a resin. But it adds several days to building one of these knives. And where I'm getting 150 or 200 bucks for a knife, and I'm $50 into the sheath. I don't do that. So you get a knife like they were made 200 years ago. 200 years ago, they picked up elk horn, they cut it in half, and they slapped it on the knife. And that's pretty much what I do. But I do run a couple of coats of satin clear enamel over the top, and it keeps the moisture out of everything. Where you got to make sure you get it good and shook up. It'll take a couple of coats, but we can cheat it. I have a cheat code in the shop. I have a really cool tool. So when you spray that on there, invariably it will bubble. And generally what you would have to do is go back in with some sandpaper or something and knock the bubble out. But I have found an ingenious way. So you can actually see the bubbles right there forming. This is a little air chuck on the end of my air hose. You can see like right there where it gets sucked in, it'll bubble. But just a little bit blast of that air. And of course, that air is in the tank, and so it's the same temperature as the inside of the shop. So it's about, I don't know, what, 45 or 50 degrees. Morning, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Cody Iron Works. Okay, so now I might put another little coat on there. Lightly. You know, out here in Wyoming, we have very low humidity. And so stuff like that, enamel, dries really fast. But what I'm doing with that is I'm knocking the bubbles that form, knocking the bubbles down. Okay, that'll probably do it. And then I'll let that dry, and we'll put at least one more coat on there. Now, you can't set that just any old place. got a trick that I use. So that's the same clamps that I use for clamping the handles on when I glue them. Works fairly slick. All right, so while that's drying for a few minutes, we'll got a bunch of boot jacks I got to do. Actually, stuff I got to do, but we'll start with boot jacks this morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the likes. You have any questions? You have any questions or comments or whatever? I'm your man. Well, I guess I better describe to you guys what I'm building, huh? So, one of the main things I sell is a thing called a boot jack. And a boot jack is a tool out here in the West or anywhere where you wear like a boot that doesn't have a lace on it, particularly for working guys where you don't want to be tracking mud in and out of your house. I build a thing called a boot jack. So what that does is you put that, I'm going to put a leg on this so it sits on the floor. And then what you do is you drive that over there and then you can pull your boot off. If you've ever worn cowboy boots or been to a Western wear store, you know what one of these is. For people in the other part of the world that never see cowboy boots, it's a thing here in America. So there's two forged components to these boot jacks. There's the part where you shove your boot in, and then there's I use another horseshoe and bend it around for the foot to keep it up off the ground. None of these horseshoes are the same because they're all used. So just like with a a person as you're wearing your shoes out. They don't wear evenly. One wears a little more than the other generally. So same thing with these. So it's challenging to forge them and get them even. But yeah. We do all right. And then there's the in-between shoe that goes behind the bent one. And I just throw them in the forge and clean them up, and then that way all the shoes look the same. You don't end up with some wad wanky looking thing. I think I've got a finished one over here. I can show you what they look like. I do. That one's all finished up. Yeah. Kind of rolling into my morning. So I got the forge kind of turned down. What came first, the hammer or the anvil? Probably rocks. Rocks came first. I know that there are places in Norway where the farmers farm around big pieces of granite that look like they've been worked. And it was probably where some blacksmith had a shop and he was using a big piece of granite as an anvil instead of a metal anvil. Okay, so that's still just a little task. Now that I don't have to worry about bubbling. I'll put it in front of the heater. We'll let the heater dry it out a little bit because it isn't very warm in here. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from? We're almost getting some spring weather here in Cody, Wyoming. Awesome workshop. Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming for me to have a good shop. I've been in here 5 years. I'll give you a little tour. Here's the power hammer. Power hammer, another vise and anvil set up. I've got 5 vices set up in the shop now. Of course, my workbook benches are full always. This is the working anvil. There's the treadle hammer, which you guys will get to see me use in a little bit. And then there's the back. And this time of year, I kind of keep it cleaned out so I can park the car in here if it gets really cold. So. Probably you. You're the biggest turd. Or maybe your mom. Your mom might be the biggest turd I've ever done. Yeah, probably her. It's the right one to start. No, there's a marlin hanging there. One of my big sellers is those racks, those gun racks. And so I've got a couple of rifles hanging there as displays. There's a Marlin and a Ruger hanging there, but here's what's usually hanging in them for display purposes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a gun. I collect guns. I don't sell them, but gun racks I sell. So that's how we do the foot. Saludos. No, this one's definitely not fake. Neither is this. There's a couple of real ones there. Hello, good morning. Is it Monday? It feels like Monday. you, poor retarded children. Uh, yeah, but mostly the business does this. I'm a kind of a general purpose blacksmith. I do a little bit of everything. I do everything from jewelry and bits and spurs to knives, axes. I forge a lot of axes and a lot of tools, but most of the business is interior stuff. Towel bars, the hat racks for sure. Tons and tons of hat racks. Drawer pulls, handles. Tomahawks, Viking style ones. But tons and tons of wall hooks, and I mean tons of them. It's kind of the thing that I fill in with. So when I'm doing a project, I'll always have a few pieces of steel in the forge, and we'll be doing, me and my personalities will be building wall hooks. So, yeah. If you want to see the stuff, there's an Etsy store. If you just Google Cody Iron Works, it comes up. Not hot enough. Greetings, greetings. In typical Cody, Wyoming fashion, I start my day with a couple of cups of coffee. To break the fast. You guys are funny. You try to put raunchy stuff in the comments, and the AI on YouTube is way too good for you trolls now. It just blinks it out. You guys are gone. I don't even have to monitor it anymore because the app does it for me now. Morning. Good morning. Morning, John. Homer. YM. They are not fake. Some of them are fake. Some of them are real. You can tell the difference which one is fake and which one is real now. So you guys want to see some more art this morning? Here, I'll go get some stuff that I finished up here. One of my happy little steerhead faces hooks. Happy little steer face. I'm kind of proud of the way this one turned out. This is a custom one I did for a guy. Let me shut these down before I drop them. So elk horn is a funny thing, and those are elk horns. You know, I don't know, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't, but an elk will drop its horns every year. About this time of year, every year, they drop their horns. The deer, the elk, and the moose here in Wyoming, they drop their horns, and they grow another pair every year. Yeah, they grow that great big set of horns every year. But they don't get very big around. And so to find a place where you can get narrow handles, piece of ladder Damascus. Show you a picture. I do a lot of toilet paper holders. Yeah. Well, I'm in Cody. So, but my leather guy, he kind of went all out on this sheath this time. I just can't believe how good he's getting. Of course, he's only done about 700 of these. Oh, Douglas, I apprenticed with a horse trainer out of Douglas, between Douglas and Glen Rock, years and years ago. And I'm sure he's long dead now. It's been 30 years ago. But Jerry, what was his name? Jerry. He had a really nice little place just outside of Douglas. Howdy, Billy. Well, I'm not Billy, but howdy. See how I do those? On some, the way I do them is I'll forge them up and split them. It's quite a process to watch me split those because I do it with a chisel. I punch them. Yeah, I'm right in Cody. Born and raised up here, actually. Went to school in Powell, but born and raised up here. Five generations from Wyoming. Yeah, everywhere up here. They don't even hibernate anymore. Well, probably the last couple of weeks when it got real cold, but they're out at all times of the years up here now. It's crazy. I used to go horn hunt. I used to do a lot of horn hunting in the spring, and but the bears will just damn near run you out, and so I don't do much horn hunting anymore. Well, you don't get to looking like this from eating vegetables, other than maybe a potato. Thank you, appreciate it. Good morning. Horseshoe and rasp. Well, we're here. It's as far as I know, as long as Yellowstone holds, it ain't going nowhere. I actually am not. I don't. I've really laid since I turned 50. I've laid back on the beer. I only drink about 2 beers a week now. 2 cups of coffee a day, 2 beers a week. A little shot of Jägermeister once in a while, very rarely. Thanks. You know it adds 10 pounds. The camera adds 10. the camera adds 10 pounds. And then I've got this ridiculous going. My plan was to shave a little bit of it off every day for the live streams. I was going to shave a little bit of it off until it was all gone. And the first day I had that much of it there, but I just forgot this morning. I got up and I forgot to shave it off. So eventually it's all going to go. It's all going to go. Got to readjust here. Okay. Instead of this, I'm a Kahlua guy. I can't do the Baileys in the coffee, but occasionally I'll go down to the Elks Club or the Eagles Club and I'll have me a little shot of Baileys in my coffee. Very rarely anymore. I used to do it quite a bit, but I've pretty much quit. Well, what you guys don't understand is it took a long time for me to get here to do this. I've been blacksmithing full-time and professionally since 1990. So that's, is it really 35 years, 35 years? Yeah. Yeah. You like that? Sure. I have done tons of videos on this, on the treadle hammer. In fact, I posted one yesterday. I posted a short yesterday. So if you can go watch some of my videos. So there it is. It's a 350-pound ridge anvil. The stand actually came with it when I traded for it. Of course, I built all the tooling. This is a 15-pound sledgehammer. And it's pretty basic. It's just, but I should have built one 30 years ago. You know, you always think that the girls, oh, they want to see you clean shaved and all of that, right? And it seems like the more scruffy I am, the more the girls like it. Even at this age, with all of this gray in here. When I told them everybody I was going to shave it off, oh, you should have heard them howling. They were howling, howling. All right. Well, I got to do this horse face, so we'll go back over here and you can watch me run it. You don't have to have. A lot of guys will set them like in a post on the ground, so you can dig a fence post hole, set them. It sure saves a lot. You know, I got to do 80 of these for one order, and man, it sure saves a lot of fiddle screwing around. Morning, everybody. Hello. Where to put my coffee at? Off. Son of a gun. That's the bar move. Get it for myself. I do it in chapters, right? So I'll do 10 a day. I'm gonna feed it in as I'm doing other stuff during the day. So because it's physically demanding work, and you know I'm screwing around now because I do this live in the morning. I still get a little stuff done, but really my day starts after I get off the live. So no, I don't do any. I used to do trade shows. And trade shows are a lot like GAM. They used to have a show called the Nile. Well, they still do. The Nile, Northern International Livestock Exposition up in Billings, Montana. And I tried it once or twice. And if the weather's good, I did pretty good. And if the weather was bad, you don't do worth a darn. I just don't need to anymore. Thanks to the internet, I can do all of it on my Etsy store. The Etsy store is 85 or 90% of my business. And then I've got 4 stores downtown Cody that carry a little of my stuff. One guy carries the knives, and then I've got a gal who likes to carry a lot of the hardware, and then I'm a member of the Art League. And then the big Buffalo Bill Museum, they carry a little bit of my stuff in the gift shop there. So, if I acquire too much stuff, I just take it and I take it downtown. Like all the one-ofs. Like if I get an order for 10, I'll do 12. Yeah, I mean and then so you always have a few extras around. And then I have stuff to take downtown and stock these displays that I have here. So I've got one at a store called Treasured Memories, and one at the Art League. And I try to keep them full. I'll go in once a month. This time of year, I probably go in once a month and fill them because nothing's happening in Cody till the tourists come. So, but I used to do a lot of trade shows. My goal is to make enough money off of the YouTube channel to buy me a 1948 or 52 Chevy truck and set up a portable blacksmithing rig on there, like I used to have when I was shoeing horses, and go around and do demonstrations for the kids. That's what I'd really like to do, like at the schools, go to the museums and set up. That's the goal, but it's going to cost me probably 10 grand to set that up, and I don't know that YouTube's ever going to be enough. I don't know that I'm ever going to make enough to be able to do that, but it would be fun. It'd be fun. I've got it all drawn out. I know exactly what I want to do. So. Yeah, I've had several offers to do like living history stuff. The bad part about that is that stuff doesn't pay, And my favorite gig I ever had was I had a portable blacksmithing, like for shoeing horses, on the back of my truck. And about 3 or 4 times a week, I'd go down to Main Street in Cody during tourist season. And a very good friend of mine had a pawn shop there, and I would back in to the pawn shop, in front of the pawn shop, just a half a block off of Main Street, and I'd forge, and I'd get to screw around with all the tourists and everything. It was fun. That was such a lot of fun. I'd sell the stuff that I made right off of the back of the truck, and I didn't make a ton of money, but man, it was fun to do. And I'd like to have a gig like that again, but the city of Cody is, funny thing. Every politician in the whole wide world says Oh, we like business. We're all about business and helping small business. We're all about it. Yeah, until you want to do something. And then they cock block you at every turn. So I don't know. One of these days I won't be in the shop. I'll be someplace else doing something else. I get bored. I'll keep the Etsy thing going because I can do that. How old am I? I am 53. I'm 53, every bit of it. And I've been doing this professionally for, I think this is 36 years this year. Can't believe that, but it is. I'm actually accepting applications for an apprentice intern right now. If I can find the right person. I'd like to kind of expand the business a little bit, but I'm so busy trying to keep all the little minutia going that I don't really have time. So if I could get somebody in here to come help me do some stuff, I teach them how to do a bunch of this stuff. Maybe I could grow this business just a little bit more. I'd like to just a couple of things I'd like to do. So I put an ad on the Facebook last night. I haven't checked it yet today to see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See what's happening. Any of you out there want to become an apprentice in Cody, Wyoming? It doesn't pay much. Doesn't pay much. But you could get a world of experience. And as long as you went someplace else and didn't compete with me, it's been a fairly good life. I don't have a boss. I don't have a commute. I don't commute to work. I don't have to get in a car and drive for half an hour to work someplace that I don't want to be every day. And then when you're tired at the end of the day, get back in your car and drive back to your house. I don't have to do that. I work as hard or as little as I want, and my income is absolutely dependent on how hard or how little I work. No boss. Yeah, well, I don't make a ton of money. I mean, that's the rub. Is you don't make a ton of money. But I found out a long time ago that money wasn't really important to me, so it's all right. I'm okay wearing $20 Jesus jackets as long as I can have a good hat. Yeah. You make a lot of friends if you're honest and you do good work. There's a lot of people. You gain a lot. You have the ability to gain a lot of loyalty if you treat people right, and it feeds my artist. It feeds that little artist part of me that I have. So I'm not a great artist, But the blacksmithing there's enough of art involved in the blacksmithing that it feeds that for me. And the creative part, it's really good. Blacksmithing is really, really great for, you have to be creative. Look, I built this machine. I dreamt that I needed a treadle hammer, and I built the machine, and the only thing I bought was this spring. So you have to be, if you're going to be a good blacksmith, you really need to be a little creative. That really helps. And think outside the box. Boy, brother, I am an outside of the box thing. I'm not sure I've ever been in the box ever in my whole life. There they are. And then this will get the stem. I'll show you the hat racks. I'll just go get one. Show it. So here's the basic hat rack. So this mounts on the wall. Mounts on the wall like that. And then here's your place to mount your hat. And they work really, really good. And you know, they're very popular because I think I'm rolling up on 3,000 of these. I think this order for 80. This order for 80 put me over 3,000 of these I've done in the last 10 years. So. Yeah. I don't know. Is that Spanish or is it Portuguese? My Spanish is so bad I don't. My Spanish is so bad I don't. To read it is hard. I know I'm very limited in my Spanish. So hablar español, portugueses. ¿Qué hablar? Portugueses. Yeah, I can't read. I can't read it. I know it's a lot like Spanish, but I can't read it. Perdóname, mi español es no bueno. Mi portugués es nada. here's the conundrums with working with old shoes. They get so thin, some of them get so thin that your tongs won't even hold them. So you have to have 5 different sizes of tongs to work with these damn things. So it's not that big of a deal when you make your own tongs, though. Got to run away. John, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Please subscribe to the channel and check me out and comment. And I'm on there all the time, and I try to answer all the questions. Sometimes I can get it done, and sometimes I can't. But please subscribe to me. As the channel grows and I start making where it levels out a little bit, I'm going to start giving some giveaways. We're going to give away like coffee cups and my welding hats with my logo on it. I got a bunch of stuff. I don't know where that's going to be yet, but we're going to do some fun stuff with the channel. I got a bunch of fun stuff. If I can ever get it to actually where it's actually paying me something where I can throw that money back into the channel. San Paulo. That's didn't they have the Olympics there a few years ago? Hello, greetings from Cody, Wyoming. Cody is the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. This is the closest town that you can get to Yellowstone on the east side of the park. I'm sure you've probably heard of Yellowstone. Morning, everybody. Congratulations on your work. I'm from Brazil. Oh, I already read that one. Is that all of them? Welcome to Cody Iron Works. We kind of teach a lot around here, and we try to be funny, and I don't know, something different than the damn news. I get so sick of watching the news. Yeah, everything is a catastrophe. Everything is bad. Everything's, and I can watch a little bit of game streaming, but I can only watch so much of that. And I don't want to see no thoughts either. I'm too old to watch teeny boppers doing their. I don't want to see that. Ooh, it's dry. Put another coat on it. Let's give it another coat. Give it another blow off. I like to put at least 3 coats on these. I'm trying to get enough where it'll get down in there and seal that, and it'll keep moisture out. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. If you guys have come late to the party, this was my trick I used to keep the bubbles out. Now we let it dry a little bit, and then we repeat. So these old horseshoes are going to be components for other things that I'm building. And so what I'm doing is I'm reshaping them, trying to get them even. And then I'm trying to get the color all the same. So when I use them, you won't have a shiny shoe and a black shoe and a, so all the ones I use, I cut all the horseshoe nails off. And then we heat them up and reshape them, make sure they're even. And we use them for other stuff. These ones are going to be used for boot jacks. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to whatever I'm doing here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm coming or going. There's something to be said for having a woman in your life that knows exactly what she wants and how to get there. I don't. I don't have a clue of what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm only half kidding. I think this was probably a little heavier than the original ones. Not by much. I think, I don't know. You know, I've never held a real one in my whole life. I've just gone by pictures. And maybe they would have been that big. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I think it's probably, I don't know, maybe 2 pounds, maybe. But I'll take it to the Ren Fair or something, and it'll go. Somebody will want it. All right, we got one more here. That's what I'll finish up. You guys are going to want to see this. You guys are definitely going to want to see this. So we'll come over here to this. Get up on here like this. Didn't quite screw it up. Dang near. Now we're going to let that heat up a little bit, and then I'll do his eyes. Questions or anything from anybody? If you'd like to see the real work that I do, you can go watch my other videos, or you can go to the Etsy store and go check it out, or Instagram. I got a bunch of Pinterest pictures. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. If you want to see the finished products, the Etsy is probably the easiest way. You know what? You could do me a favor. You could go to the Etsy store and just like some of my stuff. You don't have to buy anything. You could just go to the Cody Iron Works Etsy store. If you Google it, it comes right up, and then you could just go like some stuff. That would make me know that you guys are watching. Just go in there and just like some of the products. It might make it more. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not looking to. I'm not trying to sell my stuff, but it's hard to tell how much engagement I get with everybody. I get. It seems like I get a lot of people watching me on here, but I don't get much engagement. Everybody's just creeping. And so, if you don't want to talk, I get it. But you could go to the Etsy, or maybe I ought to link a video or something, and everybody can just go like the video. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. Stand by. I started as a farrier. And I don't even know if they're still teaching the classes over at the community college in Powell. But I was raised on a ranch, just a little ranch, just north of Cody here a little bit. My dad was a horse trainer. My mother trained horses. And so the instructor at the college back in the 80s, he brought his students out and they'd trim all the horses. At one time, my dad had about 45 head of horses. And I started kind of apprenticing with him back in the early mid 80s. And then in 1989, I took the farrier program, which is horseshoeing, at the community college. And I didn't even get done with my first semester, and I was shoeing horses already. And back in the early 90s, the internet was pretty new. And so we had to build all of our tools. So we learned how to build our tools. And that's how I got into blacksmithing. I really fell in love with it. So from then on, what I would do is I would shoe and train horses in the summer, in the fall, in the spring, and then I would blacksmith in the winter. But there's some apprentice programs. You know, I'm pretty sure that the Wyoming Sheridan has a blacksmith club. Wyoming has a blacksmith club, and they do hammers, hammer ends, and they do all that stuff. And I know they go to Sheridan. You know who you ought to talk to? There's a guy by the name of Dave Osmondo who has a fantastic program, blacksmithing program, in Buffalo. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook, you can become a member of a club called Wyoming Artists and Craftsmen. And it's on Facebook. I'm the mod of the group on Facebook. And Dave posts a lot of stuff on there, and he posts about his classes and when he's doing classes in Buffalo. He's a really great guy. He does a lot of traditional stuff, and you ought to go talk to him. He could definitely direct you to the blacksmith club and all of that stuff. And if you get to the VA hospital, if you get over to the VA hospital, go visit my Uncle Kenny. Vietnam vet, lost his leg in Vietnam, and he's permanently now he's in the VA hospital, and he's always bored out of his mind. So that would be hilarious if you went to visit my Uncle Kenny in the VA hospital over in Sheridan. That's quite a facility over there. It's amazing. We're blacksmithing. Yeah, Dave Osmondo in Buffalo. And I can't think of the name of his. I know he's on Instagram and Facebook and all of that. But you can find it on the Wyoming Craftsman page on Facebook. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I was raised by Korean War vets. And of course, all my uncles were Vietnam vets. So I have a firsthand and deep understanding of what you're talking about. So. I love this app so much fun. No, 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 no. I build these gun racks. That's one of the things that I do and I sell a lot of. But for display purposes. My neighbor Brady Hopple across the street from me. Oh, there's a couple of real ones there. That one's a Marlin, 1894, and this one's a Ruger. But I can't show you the real ones because if I show you the real ones, then everybody gets butthurt, and then I get blocked or censored or they screw with my page, and so that's as close as I can show them to you. But it's all about the designs of the little cowboys. See, they're displays, and those are actually the racks that I make. So, but I do a lot of interior stuff is what I mostly do. So yeah, the Mini it's really cool. So Carl D. Thanks for your service, man. I'll show you something kind of cool. So this was a custom piece I did for a guy a while back, and I don't do a ton of custom work. I just don't. I just don't have time to do it anymore. But when a Marine Corps vet calls you and says, "Hey, can you build something for my brother?" Right? So I built this for one of my Elks Club member buddies, and that is ladder Damascus. I did not do that Damascus. I ordered it. But with Wyoming elk horn grips. But when he told me it was for his brother, and his brother was a Marine, I had my leather guy put that on the back. So, yeah. Yeah, Joel does amazing work. He does amazing work. Joel does really good. And then here's one I did a while back. You can go back and watch the live streams of me finishing some of these. Yeah, I don't do the leather. I got a guy here in town who I've known for I think 12 years. He and I have been buddies. He's done just about 700 of these knife sheaths for me. Joel has, and so his work has just gotten phenomenal. He hand sews all these with a leather horse, old school leather horse, 2 needles. Some of them are. Some of them are. The guy that I built the sacks for, he said he wants a few of them, so I don't know. We'll have to see. And here's another one. Yeah, that was made out of a horseshoeing ramp. And then this is I don't know exactly what kind of Damascus that is. It's a pattern, and I haven't polished this one up yet. I got to polish this one yet. I haven't done that. But Osage, Michigan Osage handles. And then I do my guards a little different than a lot of guys, so but hey man, he's doing some beautiful work. And then I got one more here I'm working on. This is an elkhorn one that I'm working on this morning. Wyoming elkhorn. It came from up South Fork. I can probably tell you what drainage that piece of elkhorn was found in, actually. So that's good and dry now, so I can give that another coat. I poly these, or this is enamel here, because that horn, it likes to expand and contract a lot because it's corn. It's a natural thing. So, well, that's why we live in America, because I pack a pistol everywhere I go. Into Walmart, everywhere but the bank and the post office. So what I'm doing there is when I spray that on there, because of the nature of it and what I'm putting it on, it gets little bubbles. And so what I'm doing is while that's drying, to keep me from having to go back and re-sand that in between coats, I'm just popping the bubbles using compressed air. Very clean compressed air. Don't just plug this into some old compressor and do it. This air is going through 2 filters. So it's very clean air. You wouldn't do this with oily air out of an old compressor because you splotch up your. You'd leave oil speckles all over, but there you go. Yeah, stop in the shop anytime. I'm here. I've actually got enough people following me on here now that I get 6 or 7 people a year who are coming to Cody for tourist stuff to go to Yellowstone, and they actually stop in the shop, and I'm happy to talk to them and do all that stuff. So, yeah, so stop in. But if you get over, seriously, if you get over to the VA hospital, look up Kenny and say, hey, NJ told me to stop in here and say hello to you. Yeah, he's an ornery old booger, but it'd do him some good. If he ain't mad, he ain't. All right, everybody, any questions or anything? I got to go cut some back plates. I got to go cut some backplate material. And then once I get the backplate material cut, I'll come back and I'll do another live this afternoon while I'm forging up these backplates. But I got to go outside and do a bunch of other stuff. I can't stay right here and do it. So, and nobody wants to sit here and watch this with nothing going. So, if you want to see the next bunch of projects, me finish this knife and all of that, you probably ought to subscribe and hit the bell. And that'll give you a notification when I go live again. And no problem. No problem. If you want to see more of my work, it's all over. You can go to the shorts. I got 1,000 short videos. You can go watch, and it's crazy stupid stuff. I do crazy stupid stuff. If you really want to see the work, the Etsy store is Cody Iron Works. If you just Google it, it comes up. I generally don't sell the knives on there because Etsy hates that. They don't make that easy. Occasionally I will. You can follow me on Facebook. All right, everybody, have a great day. Like I said, I'll be back later and we'll do some more forging and share a little time. Go clean my nails. What nails? You can't troll a Prince Troll. I am the Prince Troll. Your mom didn't seem to mind him last night. Get hot and headed, always wear safety squints. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.